And well, the idea today is discuss a bit about how we use this Andrew's Pitchfork trading tool to set levels among which we could trade in daily basis, right? I do find out that the tool, is accurate both for trading mid to long term and also intraday charts, right? We are going to see a bit of it in upcoming minutes. But what I want to share first of all is that I do hardly believe that market is all about determining the right support and resistance areas, right? A support and resistance area is where we have a confluence of offer and demand. This world we live in is all about offer and demand, right? So setting those supports and resistance levels in the most accurate way is the first step to success in this forex life, right? Anyway, there are several tools which offer us the opportunity to establish accurate support and resistance levels. And I was playing around a bit with new tools that this new for me because I don't know anyone who knows how to use every single tool around, right? So I'm always trying to look for new tools, at least for me, try to understand, try to test them, see how they work, and if they work, and then share them with you. I'm going to share this one with you today. Anyway, the idea of this Andrews Pitchfork, right, comes from Alan Andrews, who developed this tool that is the trend channel, right, that consists mostly on tree lines. Overall, it works like a channel, but it offers different or certain particular information beyond the extremes of the channel, the classical channel we always use. The fact is that this particular tool includes a median trend line in the center, right, with two parallel equidistant trend lines on either side. These lines are drawn by selecting three basic points. I have the chart in here because I'm going to show you how and why we choose those points, right? And those 3 points are usually based on reaction highs or lows, right? Moving from the left to the right side of your chart. As with normal trend lines or normal channels, the outside lines mark potential support and resistance areas, right? And trends should remain in place as long as the Pitchfork channel holds. Reversals, of course, take place when price breaks out of the Pitchfork channel in the contrary direction of the dominant trend. So, the first step to use this tool is selecting those 3 points, right? And I found out this to be a bit tricky when you don't know how to use the tool, at least for the first time. But the fact is that you don't need just one relevant low, but 2 relevant lows, in fact, and a relevant high. Let me take the tool. Okay, I will insert it. Okay. So far, if we take a look at this euro-dollar descendant trend line, right, you need 2 relevant lows. And I consider this one around here and this one around here to be those lows with the high needed to confirm the figure as the third in here, okay? So my first relevant low will be my 0.1, right? My first relevant high after that first one will be my 0.2. And the last low will be my 0.3. Having set those 3 points, I will enlarge it a bit. Now I have it small so you can see it. I will change to the forward chart just to adjust the lines, okay? I tend to do this because sometimes when we set our lines in smaller charts in bigger time frames, we need to readjust them a bit in smaller time frames. Anyway, here are my 3 points. The first one being the first relevant low, right? And that is where is the trick of this particular tool. Despite it's telling you about the relevant high or the relevant low, the fact is that you need 2 of one of them to set the tool. Anyway, the median line, right, is based on 2 points. In fact, if you click on it, you will see it one here and one here, those 2 points that set the median line, right? And of course, the first one, right, is the one you choose, and the second one is the midpoint in between 2 and 3, the extremes, the higher high, lower low. We have chosen to draw this particular channel. Okay, this median line, right, controls the slope of the channel, right? The outside line, the one in here, I will move that away. Okay, the outside line, let's say this particular one, usually it stands as a strong resistance level, while the base of the channel will stand as a strong support area. Okay, we said that price will tend to go towards its median line. So most of the concepts we use in forex trading, most of the tools we use tend to look for that median price, that pivot point, right, where market tends to go, right? So that's what we are setting there. And of course, we know that if that midpoint is overpassed or broken, we may either see an acceleration of the dominant trend, right, or a break or a change in contrary. Anyway, that midpoint is what we consider key to determine a trend. Okay. Anyway, usually, right, when price moves away or above the upper line in a bullish trend or below the lower in a bearish one, we say that price is overbought or oversold, right? And it will tend to come back inside the the figure to try to meet again the median line. But as you can see in this particular case here, it's not making case of that, and in fact it's struggling around the upper trend and the upper trend line, okay, aiming to continue higher or maybe not. We don't know at this point, right? Anyway, in this particular case, right, we tend to consider this zone as an overbought condition in the particular pair. If we are going to see a break higher or not will depend or will need some additional features. There are two ways to do that, okay, to consider if this channel is no longer valid as we are getting ready to break higher, or if the price may not do so and finally return to the median line. One way is setting a technical indicator. I prefer using trend one. Okay, a trend one you can use MACD, momentum, ADX is one of my favorites. So you can use the technical indicator to measure the strength of the movement and the strength of the dominant trend. As you can see, after the spike higher, technical indicator starts to losing momentum, right? Telling me that there is not yet enough strength to the upside. Of course, some rational thinking also wakes in the technical analysis, right? We are seeing that price is unable to break, and there are more chances of a move higher than a move lower. So what I tend to do in this particular circumstances, I'm sorry, I mixed some things, is set a smaller pitchfork in the middle, right? I have a new relevant high in here, right? Let me insert the two. I have a new relevant high in here, sorry, with a second one and a low in this particular spot. Let me adjust it a bit, right? So this one, okay, this one set in a smaller time frame than the first one is on a 1 hour chart, is the one that will usually tell me if the correction is ready to extend and we will reach, or if we're going to break higher. I do believe that the best thing to use this second corrective smaller pitchfork, right, depends on the use of trigger lines, right? That is just essentially trend lines that start at point 1 and showing the point 3. Okay, a break above that upper trigger trend line, I will draw it right now in this particular case here, right? Okay, there I have putting together points 1 and 3, right? A break above that level, right, usually stands as buying signal. Okay, if we break above this trend line, the pair price action will probably extend higher. Okay, in the contrarian case, if we have an inverse channel, the trend line should be placed from point 2 to point 4 and a 2, and a break below should signal a bearish continuation or probable reversal, right? Anyway, the idea, I'm going to the general idea. We are going a bit more on a trading. In fact, take a look at what's going right now. The roof of the primary channel is acting as support along with the trend line. So as long as above the 2550 area holds right? We are understanding that the euro would probably run higher, regardless what's going on with fundamentals. So let's let fundamentals out of the technical analysis, right? At this point, I have two technical readings in the particular chart, in this particular chart, that are telling me that we are struggling with a huge support level, right? And the chances, therefore, are of an upside movement. Again, the idea of support of the system for me are key in order to understand the forex market and understand where are the forces that offer and demand and how we are going to move right around them.